Hello, everybody. I'm Christopher Zimmerman, music director of the Fairfax Symphony, welcoming you to our video chats.
Hi, I'm Melanie Kuperstein. I'm the Associate Principal Second of Fairfax Symphony, and I'm really excited to be here to talk to you guys today.
Melanie, welcome. Thanks so much for coming to have a chat with us, with me specifically. Tell us what you enjoy about playing with the FSO, or performing with the FSO, or both.
So I have not been playing with Fairfax that long, but
Right.
I've really enjoyed my time there. I'm trying to think back to my first day. I remember being really nervous, but everyone was really nice to me, and we play a lot of great repertoire there. I feel like I get along really well there, and everyone acts very professionally. All the principal players seem to get along well and coordinate well. They've been really friendly there, so we've done a lot of really cool programs. So I've just really enjoyed playing there. So
Great, that's great to hear. Everything's online now, no one's going out really. So I'm certainly missing our concerts. I presume you are too. What do you miss, would you say, about not being able to perform our live performances or any live performance?
I really miss everything about live performing for an audience. It had a big impact on me, and it's hard because that's the career I've been trained to do my whole life is play an orchestra. And obviously, I enjoy teaching, and I'm getting along okay. But I really feel like playing an orchestra is what I'm meant to do. So it's hard to not be there in the concert halls.
What do you find most challenging about performing, live on stage?
It can be really nerve-wracking to play live on stage. I don't usually get that nervous in general, but
You
sometimes
don't
if we
look
have
that
a
nervous, by
what?
the way, because you're right there in front of me. You don't look that nervous.
Okay, good.
Good.
Usually I don't get that nervous. Sometimes I feel sometimes I'll feel nervous if there's like a piece where there's a lot of spots you can mess up. We call those little holes that you can jump in. Like if there's a lot of rests that you're trying to avoid playing in, that can be scary. um, but just having to listen really carefully, that's really important to play well in orchestra, because you can't just watch the conductor, unfortunately.
No,
You really have to
100%.
work with everyone around you, especially being up front and leading the section, helping to lead the section. You really have to be paying attention to what's going on because sometimes someone could make a mistake and you have to work through that, so that we don't fall apart in performance. We all have to be on it all the time. You have to be paying attention at all times.
Yeah. I mean, if I may just add something here, when I was talking to one of your colleagues earlier this week, I think maybe the audience, understandably, might think, when you rehearse, you put everything in place and then you just turn on a button, right? And the fact is, because it's also well rehearsed, but of course, anything live, especially when there are lots and lots of people around, anything can go wrong at any time. It doesn't usually, but you never know what might happen. That's the thing. And even if you've rehearsed so well, as you know, and I know, suddenly something which seemed to have never been a problem, suddenly in performance, something happens. And as you say, you have to listen and adapt, which is part of the fun and part of the nerve-wrackingness of it, I think. Could you tell us a little bit about your instrument?
So I play the violin, which is a string instrument, and my particular instrument is actually from my dad. Both my parents are professional violinists, but I can talk about that later.
Oh,
But I used to have my mom's violin from college, and then my dad decided he wanted me to have a better violin for auditioning. So now I've been using my dad's Normo for 5 years since he let me borrow it. It's an indefinite borrowing, I guess.
yeah.
And I've been using my mom's bow as well. So I've never had to buy anything because my parents have provided all of the instruments they already had in their house.
I wonder how long you'll have it, actually. Do you really like it?
I do. Yeah, I do. I really like
Yeah.
it. So I keep waiting for the day that my dad is going to ask me for the violin back. But so far, no. We'll see.
Um, so you say your parents are both professional violinists. That's kind of interesting, kind of unusual, both. So this may be a redundant question. I was going to say, what inspired you to play the violin, but it might have been duh, you know.
Yeah, both my mom and my dad are both professional violinists, and I remember being 5 years old and my mom asking me, "Would you like to learn an instrument this summer?" And I said, "Yes, I want to learn the violin." So that's how that started. My mom started trying to teach me herself, but it's hard to teach your own kids. So, so I ended up going to another teacher who I was with for 13 years until I went off to college. So I had a really good music education, obviously. But my dad plays with the Baltimore Symphony Orchestra, and he still does, and he's been there for about 40 years. And my mom freelances everywhere. I mean, all up and down the East Coast and the Midwest. She's played everywhere. So, and they both still work regularly.
That's fantastic. Can you tell us about a favorite piece that you love and maybe you would play something for us? It'd be great.
Sure. So one of the pieces I feel like a strongest connection with, at least as far as violin solos, is Bloch's Bolshem, which is a suite that he wrote based on Jewish themes, and I'm Jewish, so I obviously feel connected just by that. But I'm also happen to be Bolshem was the leader of the Jewish Hasidic movement, and I am actually a descendant of Bolshem, so it was very special for me to get to play that. I think I played it in my senior recital or my master's recital, and I played the whole suite. But my favorite movement is Nigun, the second movement. So I could play the first page of that.
Nigun. Yeah, it's a very intense, beautiful piece. That's great. Thank you so much, man. It's such a great piece, very intense. So many people are turning, obviously, to the arts now, and it's great that we can provide something like we're doing now, and we're putting some of our performances online, past performances online for people during this crisis. Do you have any feeling why people are turning to the arts, particularly classical music?
I think it's really important that we continue to support live music. It's just amazing what humans can accomplish. You know, just even just hearing young kids play these amazing concertos and stuff. And like I said, obviously, it's healing. It's really healing to listen to music, and it not only helps the listener but also the performer. It's just all around. All around is just amazing. I used to say, or I still say, but I always say for people would ask me, I don't describe myself as really, really passionate about music, but obviously I'm not dispassionate, but I would say music is like breathing. You don't love it or hate it. It's just all the time. You're just doing it all the time. I can't not have it. It's just constant. It's a constant in my life. And I feel like it's a constant in a lot of people's lives, even if they're not musicians. It's just all around us all the time.
That's a nice idea. Music's like breathing. I never thought of it that way, but I know what you mean. Did learning to play an instrument have an impact on your specific education?
I would say music definitely had an impact on my education. It just helps you intellectually, just all around. It teaches you how to be dedicated, and I personally am really good at math. I love math. I think math and music are related, but then again, I don't meet a lot of people that like math, so maybe that's just me. But definitely it helped me with just regular school because you're more open to learning and you're more willing to study on a daily basis, and all
The
that.
discipline, yeah.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
discipline, yeah.
It's funny, I hear I'm awful at math, really. Although in my case, it's really frustrating because I like it in concept, but I'm just really bad at it. But you're right, a lot of people have an affinity, very much so, with math and physics and stuff like that, and music making. It's true. Um, what advice would you give to music students studying today?
I would tell music students today that the best thing you can do is practice. Obviously, it helps to have a private teacher and to be in orchestra, but there's so much you can accomplish at home. I've met a lot of amazing violinists who didn't have private teachers growing up, or didn't have a school orchestra, or didn't start till they were 12. So it really is about you and how you put the time in.
Mm.
You can watch videos of professionals. There's all kinds of resources out there so you can improve yourself. And just daily practice is really the best thing you can do. Get involved with friends if you can. It doesn't matter if you play the same instrument or not. You can find music for anything online, and just start playing. Just keep playing.
Right, that's great. Should we inspire our next generation of musicians to learn classical music? I guess you probably think we should, no?
Yes, I definitely think we should inspire the next generation to play classical music. Like I said, for myself, it's just the foundation of everything. I'm particularly passionate about classical music more than other styles, just because of that's what I grew up in. But
Mhm.
obviously, all types of music should be cherished and continued on. But I do feel like classical music is just the foundation of Western music. It's so important that we learn these things and pass it on. And I just hope we never stop listening to Brahms and Beethoven and Mozart. They're just the great icons of music history, classical
You know,
music.
people,
It's so
yeah,
important.
a lot of people wring their hands and say classical music is over, but those guys, like any great art, these superhuman artists, I think they're not going anywhere. I agree with you.
No.
Um, anything you'd like to tell us before we go, and anything you'd like to add?
I have to think for a second. I guess I just want to tell everyone hang in there and keep listening to music, and we'll all be back together shortly. And in the meantime, we're going to keep finding ways to play together, even if it's over, video.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Could you play a little something just to sign off?
Sure.
That'd be lovely.